So loud. The rest of the week passes in the blink of an eye. With some help from Dimitri, I managed to rope in some more clients. Through word of mouth, the opening of Olympus spread around and even more customers came to visit and purchase some of my clothing. I'm so happy it ended up going well. I was so scared of being a big fat failure, but everything has gone relatively smoothly after that awful opening day. Even though Dimitri only helped out that one day, it was enough to spread the word around. I'm so grateful he helped out. That was also the day I walked in on him taking a bath, and I still feel a little weird around him. It's officially hammered into me right now. I'm living with another guy. Sarah already knows all about the disastrous opening day. I vented to her the same night, and she vowed to help me out. She arranged a photo shoot with me. I'm kind of excited. It's early morning right now on a Saturday, so Dimitri is in the kitchen making breakfast. Do you have any plans for today? He asks. Yes, I respond enthusiastically. I'm going to be taking pictures of my clothes so I can use them to advertise my boutique. That sounds like fun. You mean like a professional photo shoot? Sarah will be taking the pictures for me. At the sound of Sarah's name, Dimitri's face falters. They still don't really get along that much. Oh, well, hope everything works out for you then. Do you know when you'll be coming home? I'm not sure. Sometimes these things can take the entire day. Well, I wanted to cook something nice for you to celebrate your boutique success this week, he says, smiling shyly. I can't help but smile at him. That's so considerate of him. Dimitri has been cooking the entire week for me and it's been delicious so far. I got really lucky having him as my roommate. He really knows how to satisfy my palate. I'd love for you to cook today. I just don't know when I'll be finished. Dimitri casts his eyes downwards as if his plans just got rejected. How about I text you when I know I'll be home?
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, he eagerly agrees. Dimitri takes out his cell phone. There's a pensive look on his face. I've had your number since the day we met in the cafe, but I've been unsure when to call or text. I don't really want to bother you. Dimitri is being so considerate. I guess he's a bit too shy to reach out to me, thinking I would find it bothersome. You can text me anytime. I won't mind at all. His eyes widen slightly. Really? Of course. I mean, if you need me for anything, just call or text me. I prefer a text so I can respond later when I've got time. Sure. Do you have SnapPic? He asks. My heart sinks into my stomach. That's the app where you can send pictures to each other that only lasts a few seconds. It's the same app I found on Alex's cell phone after I confronted him about his cheating. No doubt, Alex used that app to send nudes to girls without leaving a trail of evidence behind. I feel myself getting angry at the thought of it. I turn my face away from Dimitri. It's an app for cheaters. I mumble under my breath. Look, okay, I know it's been a while, but she's still allowed to be like a little illogical about these things. It's not really an app for cheaters, but cheaters do use the app. I guess cheaters use a lot of apps. But specifically for cheating, because that is such like a function where you can just delete things. Dimitri looks shocked, pausing without saying anything. He quickly shakes his head. Sorry for bringing that up. We don't need to use it. It's just something that's popular among my friends at the moment. He looks full of regret all of a sudden. I can just use regular texting if you prefer. I know Dimitri didn't mean anything by it, but mentioning that app put me in a sour mood. I'll text you when I know I'm almost done with work so you can prepare dinner. Yeah, alright. I'll wait until you text me. He pauses briefly. Good luck with your shoot today. Thanks. See you later. I'll leave the kitchen. Oh no, not this song. I walk through the door carrying my suitcase with me. You made it, Sarah greets me. I'm in a medium-sized studio with a lot of camera equipment around. There's a huge white backdrop in the distance. Everything looks so professional. I'm a bit impressed. Is this your studio? I ask, amazed at the size of it. Don't be ridiculous. I'm renting it for 4 hours. You think I'm made out of money? Huh. Oh, well, I'll pay you for it. Valkii, shut up already and let me help you, alright? This is beneficial to me too. I get to fill up my portfolio, so don't go thinking about paying me for it. I sigh. No one is allowing me to pay them for their jobs. Dimitri refused compensation as well. Alright, fine. Let's do this then. I open up my suitcase, which is filled to the brim with my clothes. There are a lot of designs I want to showcase and I'm going to have to wear them myself. Yep, I haven't hired a model for these photos. I'll be the star myself. Mostly because it's cheaper and Sarah insists on it. She really likes taking my picture. Quickly, I change my clothes behind a private screen. As I stand underneath the hot studio lights wearing one of my latest designs, I look at Sarah who's holding a camera up to her eye. You know what to do, change pose as soon as you hear the flash recharge on the beep. I nod at Sarah. It's not my first time doing a photo shoot with her. I put on a dazzling smile and give it my best shot. Great, you look absolutely lovely, Sarah encourages me. The first flash fires off, and I change into my next pose. Sarah doesn't miss a beat and snaps another picture. The flashes are blinding me, but I continue nonetheless. When Sarah has taken a bunch of pictures in one outfit, I change to the next one. This sounds exhausting, I'm not gonna lie. This goes on for a while until my feet are starting to hurt. Having to wear high heels the entire time for these pictures is gonna have its toll. Sarah decides to call for a break, and I sit down on one of the chairs, suddenly feeling famished from moving around so much. Some of these turned out really well, says Sarah enthusiastically. She's checking the pictures she's taken so far on her laptop. Whenever Sarah snaps a picture, it will automatically sync to her laptop straight away. Frankly, I'm a bit lost when it comes to all this camera equipment. As Sarah continues to check her pictures, I reach for my phone to check the time. I notice that I received a message from Dimitri 10 minutes ago. With a smile on my face, I unlock my phone and check out the message. Hey, I was thinking you'd probably get pretty hungry during the photo shoot of yours, so I made some lunch for the both of us. I heard you say the studio wasn't too far away. Can I bring it over? Lunch sounds great right about now. I'll send you the location in a bit. I can't help but smile. It's so nice of Dimitri to think of me and make me lunch, even going as far as to bring it over to me personally. I'm being treated like royalty. I look over at Sarah as I text Dimitri the location and wonder if they're going to be butting heads with each other again. I hope not. Sarah notices I've been on my phone and raises an eyebrow at me. Texting someone? She asks. Yeah, Dimitri is coming over to drop off some lunch. I hope that's okay. Sarah rolls her eyes. Catboy. Fine, as long as he doesn't disrupt the shoot. I stare at the phone in my hands, wondering about Dimitri's text until something else crosses my mind. Hey, Sarah. I start, a bit hesitant. Do you use SnapPig? Yeah, I do. Why? I shake my head, just wondering how popular it is. Sarah walks over to me and whips out her phone. She stands next to me and directs the phone's camera towards us. It's pretty fun. Here, just smile. Before I can react, Sarah snaps a picture. She taps on her screen a bunch of times before showing me the picture she took of us together. There's a strange filter on the picture that gave me and Sarah bunny ears and a nose. I laugh at it. It looks ridiculous on us. This is stupid, I joke. That's the point. It's obviously not studio quality like my DSLR. I muse, not entirely convinced. After all, Alex was using it to send and receive nudes to girls he met on dating apps. Because of the nature of SnapPic, the picture gets erased after a couple of seconds, so it doesn't leave any evidence behind. To be honest, I'm still pretty bitter about it. The doorbell disturbs me from my thoughts. Sarah looks up as well. Brace yourself, Sarah. Catboy is here, I warn her. Sarah rolls her eyes at me as I make my way over to the entrance to let Dimitri in. When I open the door, Dimitri is standing there holding up a brown bag and a small plastic cup with a smile on his face. Oh. Hey, he greets me cheerfully. I can't help but smile back at him. He's always so adorable. Hey, glad you could find it. Come in. I step aside to let Dimitri into the studio. Oh, it's not that hard. That's what GPS is for, right? He says. We both walk away from the entrance and Dimitri hands over my lunch. I look inside the brown bag and see some type of sandwich along with freshly squeezed orange juice. I take out the sandwich and start eating it. It's good. Thank you so much for the delivery. You really didn't have to, I mention. I'm happy he made the effort to come over though. We both sit down at the table and I resume eating the lunch that Dimitri made for me. Dimitri bashfully shakes his head. No, I wanted to. I enjoy cooking and preparing food for you. I like it, I say with a mouthful. Catboy, Sarah suddenly joins the conversation. Dimitri's face falls immediately and he narrows his eyes at Sarah. Good day, he greets her chilly. I tilt my head sideways. These two really can't get along still. Maybe if they would just spend a little more time together, they may be able to change their opinion of each other. I swallow my food and then look at Dimitri, determined to get these two to like each other. Sarah is taking pictures of me and my designs, want to stay and watch for a while. Sarah glares at me, sending me vibes that she wants to be rid of Dimitri as soon as possible, but I ignore it. Dimitri's eyes flicker over towards Sarah before settling on me. Well, I'm free today, so I don't mind staying for now. Hey, this is my studio. I paid for it, so you better sit down and not get in my way, Sarah warns him. I shrug my shoulders at Sarah. She can glare at me all she wants, but I think the two could learn to get along better. So I get to see you model? He asks me. Suddenly I feel like I'd be putting on a show in front of Dimitri and it makes me a little self-conscious. She's not doing it for you, buddy. Sarah cuts in quickly. I didn't think she was, he replies curtly. I quickly finish up my lunch to prevent the fight from breaking out. Thanks for the food, Dimitri. Dimitri smiles warmly and nods his head at me. He's got such a cute smile. It's always so adorable. Come on, let's get back to work. I only booked this place for 2 more hours, so there's not that much more time left. There's not much to argue with that, so I get up from my seat and walk behind a privacy screen to get changed into a different outfit. Soon enough, I'm in front of the camera lens once more, the lights blinding me each time Sarah takes a picture. Dimitri is watching me from afar. Each pose I make feels slightly more uncomfortable when his blue eyes are on me. I don't have issues posing in front of a camera, but now that I've got someone else looking, I feel a little more nervous. We take a small break so I can get changed into the next outfit. I'm trying to zip up my dress, but I can't seem to get the very last part all the way zipped up. After struggling for a couple of minutes, I give up. Seems I need some help, and I call out for Sarah. Sarah, can you help me zip up this dress? I hear someone approaching the screen, but judging from the large shadow that's blocking the light, I can tell it's definitely not Sarah. Sarah went to the bathroom. Want me to help? I hear Dimitri's voice say in an unsure tone. Alright, I guess Dimitri can help as well. Yes, please, I can't get the last part zipped up. Dimitri walks around the screen and into my view. He looks a bit uncomfortable, like he's treading into unknown territory. I brush my hair away from my neck and turn my back towards him. Dimitri takes a small step closer. Even though my back is turned to him, I can feel his presence behind me. It's an odd but warm feeling. I look down at the ground, unable to say much at the moment. Dimitri is so close to me that I can feel his breath on my neck. He raises his arms and his knuckles brush briefly against my shoulder blade. Dimitri fumbles around trying to get a grip on the zipper. I can tell he's nervous for some reason. A second later and he softly places his hand against my back and zips up the dress. My skin feels warm and prickly. There, all done, he says. His voice is right next to my ear and I give an involuntary shiver. I'm a bit too self-conscious of the way he's so close and touching me. I can't let myself focus on it too much. Quickly, I drop my hair and spin around to face him. I end up bumping my nose into his chest. I stumble backwards with a dazed look on my face. I'm sorry, I apologize quickly. I didn't realize we were that close. Dimitri rubs the spot on his chest with his hand and takes a step back. That's alright, he mumbles. Can we get started or not? Sarah's voice suddenly echoes through the room. Yeah, I'm coming, I shout back. Sarah pops back into the studio and she stops dead in her tracks when she sees me and Dimitri. Oh no, is she gonna pick a fight with Dimitri again? Sarah raises her camera and peers at us through her viewfinder. Dimitri and I look at her, confused. What is it? I ask. Sarah pulls herself away from the camera. I have an idea, she says. What's that? Sarah points at Dimitri. Catboy, he's tall, and while I don't want to admit it, he's got a pretty face. Why don't you two pose together? Most of your clothes are for outdoors. Some of them are pretty romantic and cute. It would make sense to pose you with a guy who's acting as your boyfriend. I don't know what to say to that. Sarah wants me to pose with Dimitri, acting as my boyfriend? But wait, doesn't she dislike Dimitri? Why would she ask him to model? I look over at a stumped Dimitri. He's gone red. I start unsure what to say. This feels so sudden. I don't think Dimitri would want to pose with me, I say, not knowing how else to shoot down the idea. I'm not going to force Dimitri to be in my pictures, not when he's already embarrassed about it. He seems a little camera shy. I don't mind, Dimitri answers in a tiny voice. It's my turn to feel stumped. He doesn't mind? See, he'll gladly pose with you. Now get over here and let me adjust the lights. Just do some couple poses together. Couple? I repeat. This is sounding really embarrassing. I was alright posing in front of the camera all alone, but with Dimitri in the picture, it suddenly feels a lot more difficult to pull off. Doing couple poses with Dimitri, the guy that's 4 years younger than me, wouldn't that look strange? Dimitri and I walk up in front of the white backdrop and I look at him. Are you sure you want to do this, Dimitri? I ask, just to be sure. Dimitri scratches the back of his head. I get to help you out with your work. Seems like fun. Alright, make sure you're in front of him most of the time and give it your best shot. Sarah calls out as she looks through the camera's viewfinder. Dimitri shyly hangs his head down. Do you want me to, hold your hand? Well, that's assertive. Alright, this is for the sake of my business. I can keep things professional. We're only pretending, no reason to be nervous. I grab Dimitri's hand and pull myself towards him until I'm pressed up against his firm body. Dimitri is completely caught off guard and freezes up with me against him. I guide his hand to my waist and make sure he keeps it there. I throw my arms around Dimitri's neck, then tilt my head backwards to smile towards the camera. Sarah quickly snaps a picture. I look at Dimitri. Change pose after each shot she takes. I guide him. Dimitri looks nervous and shy, but he nods and manages to slightly alter his current pose. His hand slides across my waist until his entire arm is around my back. He leans in closer to my face, his blue eyes staring into my own. Sometimes I forget how tall Dimitri is, but with me here, pressed up against him, I feel this rush of excitement. Dimitri is definitely no longer that cute boy. He's all grown up. Is this better? He asks. I can feel his arm trembling slightly. He's nervous. The camera shutter whirs loudly and the lights flash. I throw him a confident smile. Yeah, good job. I spin around so my back is pressed against his chest. Like it's completely natural, Dimitri wraps his arms around my stomach, pulling me in close. Smile, I direct him before putting on a large smile myself, looking really happy. Sarah snaps another picture. This time, Dimitri holds me in a firmer grip, like he's a little bit more confident in his actions. He rests his chin on top of my head. I can feel his broad chest against my back. It's actually a really nice feeling that leaves me a little breathless. This is like one of my favorite tropes, where they're like pretending to be like boyfriend and girlfriend. Lights flash in front of my eyes again. Is it my heart that's beating so fast, or can I feel Dimitri's? We change poses a bunch of times, doing things a couple usually does, from holding hands to hugging each other. There's so much physical contact between us, I've lost how many times I've held Dimitri's hand by now, or felt the warmth of his chest. It's actually a lot of fun. I haven't experienced this kind of physical closeness with someone in years, even though it's all for pretend. But knowing it's Dimitri, I feel like I can drop down my guard and enjoy us working together. Eventually, Sarah's hours are up and we have to finish our session and pack our things to go home. You did good, Sarah praises me. Thanks, I really hope the pictures turned out alright. You'll send me them as soon as you're finished editing, right? Of course, it'll take a couple of weeks since I have to sort through like 600 pictures, but I'll get it done. Dimitri, I can pay you for your help, I offer, noticing Dimitri has been quiet all this time. He shakes his head. No, I was glad to help. He gives me a shy smile. Besides, it was fun. I know, but I took up almost your entire Saturday. I feel a little bad for making you do this. Really, it's okay. You turned my Saturday into something a little more exciting. Sarah rolls her eyes at me. He said it's fine. Drop it, Valkii. Alright, well then, thank you everyone for your hard work, I say cheerfully. Oh, I saw my camera going. Let's go home. I'll cook you dinner, says Dimitri. Sounds lovely. Okay, I'll see you guys as soon as the pictures are finished. Sarah bids us farewell and we all leave the studio. I think I have time for one more chapter. A week later, Sarah sends me the pictures of the photo shoot we did together. I look them over on my computer. She sent me well over 100 pictures. The pictures turned out really well. You can clearly see my clothes in the best possible lighting. Everything has a cheerful and feminine vibe to it. I'm quite satisfied with the result. I keep looking through the batch until I come across the series of pictures of me and Dimitri. The tone shifts as soon as he's in the frame as well. Everything looks romantic all of a sudden. You're posing like a couple, it would be weird if it didn't look romantic. There are some pictures of us holding hands and Dimitri hugging me from behind. There's one where he's holding me up in the air as I jump. The dress I'm wearing looks super cute and airy because of it. Still, I can't help but feeling a little embarrassed that I did all of that with Dimitri. We look like a genuine couple, a sentiment that feels rather weird to me. After all, I'm 4 years older than Dimitri. On top of that, I dated his older brother. To think of us being in a relationship is something I can't quite wrap my head around. It simply feels out of place. I come across a close-up of me and Dimitri laughing together. Whereas I'm smiling into the camera, Dimitri's blue eyes are looking at me. There's a smile on his face. The camera captured that adorable dimple as well. It's a genuine smile, not a fake one. It's a cute picture. You can definitely tell Dimitri is much taller than I am. I enlarge the picture, zooming in on Dimitri's face to get a closer look at his dimple. He's so cute when he smiles like that. It's actually rather attractive. Valkii? My heart leaps into my throat and I scramble to click away so that the picture is not on my screen anymore. I turn around, my heart still racing. I put on a nervous smile. Dimitri, I say, I didn't hear you come in. Oh God, please tell me he didn't see me zooming in on his face. That's really embarrassing. I feel like I've been caught in the act, like some teenager browsing porn late at night. Except in this case, I was staring at Dimitri's picture. Not because of any indecent motives, I only wanted to see his dimple, that's it. I look away from him, battling every fibre in my being to prevent myself from blushing. Sorry, he says, but you weren't replying when I called out earlier. Dimitri looks at my computer, which is currently displaying my desktop. I feel nervous. Did he notice or not? Was I fast enough? You're home early? I thought you still had class. I tried to change the subject in the hopes that he won't question what was just on my screen. Just came home, actually. I guess you were too busy. My bad. I just wanted to know if there's anything special you'd like to have for dinner before I go out and buy groceries. I shake my head. No, nothing in particular. Alright, I'll figure something out then. Dimitri remains silent for a bit and I can't think of anything else to say either. Feels like Dimitri just walked in on me doing something obscene, which is silly since I had a legit reason to be looking at those pictures. I start. Sarah sent me the pictures. Do you want to see? Dimitri's eyes light up and a smile spreads on his face. I look away before I can see his cute dimple. You pervert, looking at his dimple. He walks over and stands behind me, waiting for me to show the pictures on the screen. Did they turn out alright? I mean, you can delete the ones with me in them. I'm sure they weren't that great since I've never done this kind of thing before. I'm really sorry about that. I shake my head, trying not to think about how close Dimitri is to me right now. You did fine. More than fine. Dimitri looks really good in these photos. I open the pictures again. Here, let me show you. As I click through the various pictures taken during the photo shoot, yeah, that's what it says. Dimitri leans in closer to me to get a better look at the monitor. The front of his shirt brushes against the back of my hair. He's so close to me, it's making me feel a little antsy. I'm reminded of our photo shoot together, how we were in such close proximity of each other, acting like a couple in love. On the screen, there's even more evidence. Dimitri holding me, both of us smiling. I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed looking at these pictures with him. We stare at this for a little while as I cycle through the pictures again. They look really nice, he says as he pulls back. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Sarah did a great job, but so did you, I compliment him. I was just happy to help you out again, Dimitri says bashfully. He's always so modest, even when he was helping out that one day at the boutique with me. Oh right, he's always been like that, even back when we made that cake for his birthday. He's a good person, and I can't help but smile at him. I get up from my seat and confidently stand in front of Dimitri. I push myself up, standing on the tip of my toes as I reach out with my hand to pat Dimitri on the head. I ruffle his brown hair into a mess with a grin on my face. Thanks, not only with the pictures, but for saving a disastrous opening week as well. I pull my hand back and wink at him. Dimitri looks incredibly flustered, his mouth agape like he doesn't know what to say. His cheeks are steadily gaining colour. He's so easily embarrassed, it's rather adorable. He scratches the back of his head, looking down at the floor. I didn't do that much. Don't sell yourself short, Valkii. I think you're doing a pretty great job at running Olympus. That puts a genuine smile to my face and I well up with pride. He always knows what to say, doesn't he? The jingle of the doorbell disturbs the both of us. That's weird. A customer at this time. Strange. I'm closed right now. Let me see who it is. I leave Dimitri alone and head back to the front of my boutique. A very excited Sarah is standing near the counter. Bow down before me and kiss my feet, Valkii, says Sarah in a high and mighty voice as soon as she spots me. Excuse me. She flashes me a confident grin. I got you a job. I have one, I say, gesturing to my entire store. Or is this a roundabout way of saying you think my business will fail? My nostrils flare, ready for a fight. What? No, Valkii, you're doing great. I come bearing good news for you and your boutique. I sigh. Alright, what is it? I got contracted by a woman last week and she wants me to do her wedding photos. Well, yesterday she came over to look at my portfolio and discuss rates. She saw the pictures we took for Olympus and she was really fond of your work. Wait, is Sarah saying what I think she's saying? To sum it up, she was in the market for a designer for her wedding dress and I convinced her you'd be perfect for the job. What, really? A wedding dress? Me? But I haven't made one before in my life. Details, details. The point is she's got a hell of a lot of cash to spend and she wants you to make her dress. She'll be contacting you soon, which means we're working on the same project. I slap my hands against my cheeks. A wedding dress? That's a tall order. But I haven't even said yes yet, I protest. This is so sudden. Sarah rolls her eyes at me. Are you really going to reject this? Come on, I'm offering you a job on a silver platter. Someone wants to wear one of your dresses. I feel myself brim with pride and my confidence rises. Some stranger saw my work and wanted to commission me for a custom dress. That's never happened before. I'm so happy. I've never done it before, but I'll try, I say, determined to see this through. This will be so awesome. I can schedule the day where we can shoot some wedding pictures before the actual wedding. It'll be a great addition to your own portfolio. Who knows, you may branch out into the wedding business. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't even know what she wants yet. Sarah shrugs. Can't be that hard. They're all white. I want to go against her and say there are millions of variations when it comes to dresses, but I simply smile at her instead. After all, Sarah roped in a client for me. I really do appreciate it. Oh, and she gave me this. Sarah pulls out a box from her bag. Something about getting it as a gift on her bachelorette party, but she didn't want it. It's the game Twisted, a game where players stand on a large white mat with coloured dots. Then they try to touch a specific coloured dot with either their hands or feet. The end result is usually a weird mash of tangled limbs. I haven't played this game since I was a young teenager. I can definitely see why they would want this at a bachelorette party. Well, keep it. Maybe Catboy knows some moves. Oh right, I forgot about Dimitri. He's here. I was going to the store. He was going to the store to buy groceries for dinner. I should say goodbye to him. Well, you do that. I need to go make dinner myself. I pull on Sarah's hands. No, why don't you stay over and eat with us? We can discuss whatever this client told you. Sarah flashes a confident smile at me. Doesn't sound too bad, to be honest. Alright, I'll stick around. Alright, be right there. I quickly go back to my workroom where I left Dimitri. When I open the door, I see Dimitri standing in front of my computer. He's doing something, but I can't quite tell. I walk closer, which is when I notice he's got his cell phone out and he's taking a picture of my computer, or rather what's on the computer. There's a picture of me and Dimitri on the monitor. It's the one where he's holding me from behind and his chin is leaning on the top of my head. Both of us are smiling in the picture. What are you doing? I question him. This girl is... Oh, sorry. This girl is very, she just doesn't understand. Just does not see it. Dimitri lets out a loud yelp and jumps away from the computer. He quickly stuffs his cell phone into his pocket. He breaks out into a cold sweat. This is not what it looks like. He starts to ramble. I'm confused. Did Dimitri want a copy of that picture? But why? I feel like I walked in on something I wasn't supposed to see. By now, Dimitri has turned a nice shade of red. He looks like a deer caught in headlights. I just wanted the picture because you're rather nice. I mean, the picture is nice. Dimitri runs his hand through his hair, looking like he's at a total loss. I'm sorry, I sound like a complete creep. He takes out his cell phone again, looking mortified this time, and starts to swipe his finger on the screen. I'll delete it now. I'm getting second-hand embarrassment here. What's with the over-the-top reaction? Did Dimitri really want that picture of us? I mean, I'm fine with that. I would have given him a copy if he simply asked for it, but he's acting so sneaky and suspicious over it. Then again, I sort of had the same reaction earlier when he walked in on me zooming in on his face. I guess I can't talk much either. I start slowly. Okay. It's a good picture. I would have given you a copy if you asked for it. Dimitri pulls his eyes away from the screen to look at me, narrowing them like he doesn't believe what I'm saying. Awkwardly, I slink past him, getting on my computer so I can send the file to his phone. I open my web browser and quickly send it to him in an email. There, now you have a high-quality picture. You can show it around college and tell people you've turned into a model. Haha. I joke, trying to lighten the atmosphere. Dimitri checks his phone after getting a notification, then hurriedly turns off his screen. He shakes his head, still looking self-conscious and nervous. I'd rather not show this to anyone, he mumbles. They'd make fun of me, for sure. Why? I think you're good looking, I say without missing a beat. Dimitri's mouth drops open in shock. He starts to sputter something incoherent and giggles nervously. He doesn't quite know what to say. Truthfully, that was a bold move by me, complimenting his appearance like that. However, Dimitri shouldn't feel ashamed. He is good looking after all. He's grown into a fine young man. I think that's the first time someone has ever told me that, he admits. Now that, I find hard to believe. Really? But you're very handsome though. I'm surprised to hear that no one gives you any compliments. Dimitri hides his face behind his hands. Please, you're embarrassing me here. I grin at him. Don't be. I'm saying you've got nothing to worry about. You could totally be a male model, you know. You got a nice face, the height, and as far as I know, the abs. Oh, stop. I can't handle any more of these comments. Dimitri pouts at me, begging me to stop. There's something so irresistible about teasing Dimitri, as usual. He gets all awkward and embarrassed, but it's so adorable. I chuckle lightly, deciding to give him a break for now. By the way, Sarah is staying over for dinner. Do you think you can buy enough for 3 people today? Glad that I'm not teasing him anymore, Dimitri removes his hands from his face and stands up straight, albeit with a lingering blush on his cheeks. Sure, I can do that. Anything else? I think that's it. Dimitri looks relieved. Then I'll go now, he says, before quickly slinking out of my workroom. Maybe I teased him a bit too much. I leave the room myself to check up on Sarah. During dinner, Sarah and I discuss the client a bit more. Turns out this 25-year-old woman is named Mandy Hobbs and just got engaged to her fiancé. She's hired Sarah to take pictures at her wedding, and now she also wants to hire me to create a wedding dress for her. I'll have to schedule an appointment with Mandy personally. I'm definitely eager to take this on. A wedding dress? It'll be my first, but I'll try my hardest to create something special. However, how I ended up in this situation, I'm not sure. Left hand green, I call out. If you move your scrawny butt out of the way, then I can reach it, Sarah complains. Maybe if you weren't so big, you could go around me, Dimitri fires back. The both of them are posed in a weird position on top of a twisted mat. I almost called it by its real branded name then, oh no. I'm the shot caller, holding a wheel that says where they need to place their hands or feet and on which colour. We're playing Twisted, the game Sarah gave me a few hours ago. Sarah's leg is half over Dimitri's thigh and she's holding herself up in the air with both of her hands. Dimitri's own arm seems to be blocking her access to the green dot. How did I get roped into this? Somehow Sarah managed to rile Dimitri up and challenge him to a game of Twisted. For some reason, Dimitri accepted. I guess he couldn't back down. They're so competitive around each other. Watch it, Sarah hisses as she moves around. Stop stepping on my fingers, Dimitri huffs loudly. They both groan and complain as they get into their new position. I sigh. Why am I doing this again? I spin the wheel once more. Right foot yellow. This earns me a groan from both Sarah and Dimitri. They start to get ready and move towards their new position. Hey, any closer and my foot will be up your butt, Sarah warns Dimitri. Funny, already feels like it's there, Dimitri retorts. You watch your mouth, catboy. Can't you watch your foot instead? Where are you putting that? You won't stand a chance at beating me if you keep complaining like this. Did my webcam just... I'm so sus of my webcam. Right hand red, I interject in a bored voice. They've been ribbing each other since the start of the game. I've known Sarah since college, and I've seen how competitive and aggressive she can be when she wants to win. However, I wasn't quite prepared to see Dimitri have the same sort of mean streak in him as well. It seems he doesn't like to lose. One of my cats is trying to get in. Sarah lets out a gargled and strained noise as she tries to reach underneath Dimitri's body to tap the red circle, but she's on her last breath here. Sarah eventually slips and falls down flat on the coloured mat. No, she yells in frustration. Yes, Dimitri cries out victoriously. You cheated, you pushed me, Sarah accuses him. Dimitri gets up from the mat and smirks at her. I did not. Accept your defeat, you sore loser. Oh my god, 1 second. Yep, one of my cats got in. She opened my door. Valkii, say something. He clearly pushed me. I shake my head. Sarah, you fell. Dimitri won fair and square. She shoots me a dirty look. Traitor. Well played. Dimitri nods his head at her, but the best man won. Ugh. Sarah throws her hands up in the air. She then tears the wheel out of my hands and bumps me off the chair, taking the seat herself. Valkii, take him on. Avenge me. Me? I'm stunned. I haven't played this game since I was a little girl. I haven't been really active either lately. I'm up for another round if you want to, Dimitri says politely. Before I can even respond, Sarah places her hands on my back and pushes me onto the mat. I almost stumble right into Dimitri, but stop right before face-planting myself into his chest. I tilt my head up to look at him, and Dimitri looks down at me. To be this up close and personal to him again reminds me of that photo shoot we did before. It makes me feel a bit restless and on edge. I guess I have no choice, I say with a shrug. Dimitri chuckles shyly, averting his eyes from me and backing away to give me some space. Go easy on me, he says with a smile. I huff. It should be the other way around. Dimitri is way more athletic than I am. Whatever. Bring it on. We start a new round of Twisted. This time I'm on the mat with Dimitri. Sarah is eagerly commanding us to go where to go as Dimitri and I dance around each other in the hopes of not falling down. Several times he almost slips and falls whenever he gets too close to me. It seems he's trying his best to avoid physical contact with me. To be fair, I didn't expect him to be so fidgety around me, not after that photo shoot where we embraced and all. As we both reach for a green circle and our hands touch by accident, Dimitri immediately pulls back with a gulp and places his hand down one circle below. He practically jumped out of his own skin. Is he really that nervous around me? Maybe he just doesn't want to lose. Sarah keeps barking out commands, and soon enough we're down on all fours, entangled with each other. I've started to break out into a sweat. It's so hard keeping myself propped up without falling. Come on, Valkii, you have to win it for me. Can't stand the smug look on his face, Sarah mostly gripes to herself. I'm trying my best, I reply. Alright, left hand on yellow, recites Sarah. Dimitri has already moved to the correct spot, and I'm looking around to see what's the best position for me. There, right below Dimitri would be the best choice. The yellow circle is just out of my reach, but if I turn my body around and arch my back, I can reach it. I bend my spine and arch my back as much as I can. My fingers try to reach for the spot while worming myself through Dimitri's position. I'm looking at the circle upside down. I've almost gotten it. Slam. Yeah, I reached it, I laugh victoriously. There's a mess of brown hair covering my vision. I finally realize the position I'm in. I've crawled underneath Dimitri, who's down on all fours reaching the circle, whereas I'm turned around, practically lifting myself up against his body. Whoops. Dimitri decides to look down to me, our faces only inches apart. His blue eyes stare straight into my soul. I feel myself breathless for a second. I see the mole underneath his eye so clearly now, and can even count the number of long eyelashes he has. His arms and legs shake, trying to prevent himself from toppling right onto me, whilst also keeping enough distance so that our bodies don't touch. I'm still staring into his eyes, and I feel my heart pounding fast until I'm sure my face has grown red. This is too close for comfort. Hey guys, there will be no sex positions in Twisted, Sarah exclaims. Sex positions? Dimitri loses his balance out of pure shock. Unfortunately, since I'm right below him, he squishes me flat against the ground. Shit. Somehow me going over to close the door. I must have stepped on my straighteners and turned them on. I could smell it. Dimitri loses his I've already said this one. The wind gets knocked out of me and I groan out loud. I'm sorry, Dimitri says in a panicked voice, and he immediately rolls off of me. He's down on one knee, extending me a hand, and his blue eyes are looking at me full of worry. Are you okay? I slowly push myself off the ground and accept Dimitri's hand. In one swift motion, he lifts me up as if I weigh nothing more than a feather. My heart is beating so fast, it felt so sudden, I wasn't expecting this. Dimitri's entire face is red. Honestly, I can't really look at him either. That's such an embarrassing position. I wasn't really thinking about the predicament I'd be in when I reached for the circle. Then Sarah had to go and mention something like that. Yeah, I'm okay, just a little shaken up. I'm really sorry. I should have been able to hold on for longer. Dimitri then turns to Sarah and gives her a dirty look. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen Dimitri look angry before. I win, is all Sarah says as she throws down the twisted board. What? I question. If such a simple comment will make you lose focus, then I win, she's grinning mischievously. You said that on purpose to get Dimitri to lose. I didn't realize Sarah was so cunning. This rivalry she has going on with Dimitri is getting to be a bit too much to handle. I didn't realize such an innocent comment would get you all into a tizzy, Sarah says with a smirk. Dimitri's face turns red in response to Sarah's provocations. He narrows his blue eyes at her. Didn't think you'd stoop so low, he says in return. Guys, this is stupid. Sarah, leave Dimitri alone, okay? And Dimitri, please don't indulge her. Dimitri's eyebrows curl up and he gives me this defeated look. I'm sorry, you're right. I shouldn't engage in childish behavior. Well, at least you admit you're childish, Sarah says while chuckling, and Dimitri shoots her another dirty look. But playtime is over. I have to head back and get some rest. Sarah starts to clean up the game and places everything back in the box. I stand there, shaking my head at her. I wish these two could get along. Dimitri looks at Sarah disapprovingly, as if he's forcing himself to be polite to her. Goodbye. When Dimitri leaves the room, Sarah and I are left alone. He's kind of fun to tease, says Sarah. I clamp my mouth shut, remembering that he said that he doesn't mind being bullied by the person he likes. Then again, I don't think he likes Sarah very much, so he probably doesn't like her teasing. I don't think he likes it when you do, though, I point out. But don't you think so too? His reactions are always so on point, it just makes me want to tease him even more. You sadist. I agree, though. Oh, come on, I know you feel the same way. Don't tell me you don't think his reactions are fun, or even try to get a reaction out of him every once in a while. I have to agree. Sometimes it's hard not to tease him to get that flustered reaction out of him. I think teasing him is fun sometimes, I admit. See? Sarah looks smug. But not in the way you do it. You're just bullying the poor guy. Sarah rolls her eyes at me. Spare me the lecture. He's a college student. He can handle it. No one can handle your fierceness, Sarah, I joke. Sarah winks at me. You know it. Anyways, I have to head back home now. Do contact Mandy about the wedding dress, alright? Will do. Sarah says goodnight and finally leaves my house. Regardless whether I like teasing Dimitri or not, being so close to him sure gave me a fright. I put a hand on top of my heart. It's still racing. There have been too many moments where I've been up close and personal with Dimitri lately. I shake my head, trying to get these thoughts out. Okay. See you in the next one.